good, everyone? Richard here from Weed City Soul, and we're here to do our first ever retro performance review on the Air Jordan 28. The Air Jordan 28 marked the return of the Air Jordan signature line to the traditional numbered models. The four previous models, which technically should have been the 24 to the 27, were the 2009 to the 2012. The Air Jordan 28 also marked the return of Jordan to high-performance basketball. These days, Jordan Brand is considered a performance-oriented brand, and that's specifically because of how well this shoe performed. So how good is the Air Jordan 28? Let's find out. We're going to start as usual with the cushioning. Forefoot and heel, unlocked Zoom Air. Now, to properly explain unlocked Zoom Air, we're going to have to take a look at traditional Zoom Air setups, which are either top-loaded or bottom-loaded. Top-loaded setups will have the air unit sitting directly beneath the foot or the insole. From there will be a foam midsole section that will make its way to the ground, wherein the outsole will be placed beneath that. Bottom-loaded setups will be the opposite. They'll switch it around and have foam sitting underneath your foot and then the air unit directly above the outsole. Both setups have their pros and cons, but neither of them have anything on this setup, the Unlock Zoom setup. Now, what Jordan Brand did with Unlock Zoom is they cored out the midsole in the heel and the forefoot. From there, they took a weight distribution plate, called the flight plate, and placed it directly on top of the Zoom airbags. So it goes your foot, flight plate, Zoom airbag, outsole. There's no foam stopping you from feeling the full benefit of the Zoom airbag, and all the space in between the airbags is then taken up by the foam midsole. Now, another important aspect of the Unlock Zoom setup is that this large volume Zoom airbag protrudes out from the bottom of the shoe. And what that does is give you even more of a springy trampoline feel underfoot. Now, all tech specs aside, the important thing is, does all of this work? And the answer to that is absolutely. This cushioning setup is phenomenal. It's absolutely incredible. It is the best cushioning setup I have ever experienced in any shoe ever. It is almost a given when it comes to basketball footwear, when choosing the kind of cushioning setup that you're looking for, that you will have to sacrifice one thing between impact protection, cushioning response, and court feel. And you absolutely do not have to do that with this setup. So this is the best cushioning setup I've ever used in my life, and my favorite aspect of it is the cushioning response. This shoe is incredibly bouncy underfoot. That probably has a lot to do with how much it protrudes on the bottom and the way they implemented the Unlock Zoom, but this thing is just fun to wear. You feel like you can jump higher, run faster, move better. It's just an incredible feel under your foot. The impact protection in the shoe is incredible. Forefoot, 2-chamber, large volume Unlock Zoom with another Unlock Zoom unit in the heel. These units absorb impact fantastically. I never had any problems coming down from landings or anything like that. It's just a really top-notch setup for impact protection. And to top everything off, the court feel on these shoes is outstanding. And that probably has a lot to do with how much these Unlock Zoom units can compress, but I felt like I was right on top of the court at all times, and it's really an incredible thing to have all three of those features in a cushioning setup. Transition in the shoe is still solid, despite the fact that the heel and forefoot are decoupled or separate. This carbon fiber flight plate does a great job at A, acting as a torsional rigidity plate, and B, just keeping everything moving together. Now, some people have complained that this shoe feels a little wobbly or unstable underfoot while you're on the court, and it's true, the shoe does feel different than a standard basketball shoe does under your foot while you're playing basketball, but it's not a feeling I would describe as unstable. It's something you get used to really quickly, and the benefits of having that impact protection and the cushioning response and the court feel far, far outweigh the disadvantages. Onto the upper, we see a synthetic shroud. This is the Russell Westbrook Why Not PE Special Edition. Not a lot of these out there, so I'm glad I have a pair. These are really dope. This is one of my favorite looking shoes in my collection. Now, this shroud sits over top a pretty standard mesh infused style upper. The upper is almost constructed of these large fused straps that make their way around the foot all the way down inside the shoe. Inside the shoe, we're seeing a full-length internal boot with a nicely padded tongue, and some nodules in the back for a better heel fit. Now, the shoe can be worn with the shroud down or up. There is no performance benefit either way. It'll feel like a mid-top. I personally wear it with the shroud up and fully zipped just to keep all the laces out of the way, and I like the way it looks that way. On to fit, I went down a half size on these just due to availability, and it turned out to be the right move. These fit basically perfectly size-wise. On to lockdown, containment, and support, these straps do a fantastic job at keeping the foot contained on the footbed. I had some very, very minor slipping occasionally, and that was always alleviated by this carbon fiber piece right here. If my foot slid off to the side of the footbed at all, it always caught this clip, and it always kept me from slipping out too much inside the shoe, and it always kept everything really contained. The shoe features more carbon fiber in the form of this butterfly heel counter, which does a great job at keeping everything locked in and in place while still remaining relatively flexible because of the split in the back. The shoe is very lightweight and comfortable. It fits well, it's got great materials, and I didn't have any comfort problems except for when the first couple times I wore them, I felt this aforementioned carbon fiber piece dig into my foot a little bit, and that went away within 2 or 3 wears, and then the shoe was perfectly comfortable after that. Onto the traction, the shoe features a wave pattern that works incredibly well. There's not that much to say about it other than this is top-notch stuff. You cannot find traction that is better than this. This is top of the line. You can stop on a dime, you can change directions. The only problem I have with it is that it doesn't squeak that much, like my traction squeaky. But if it works, it works. So is this shoe worth your money? This is gonna be a long explanation. First and foremost, this is not a cheap shoe to begin with. It's actually quite expensive. Then when you go on the aftermarket and get them like I did, it's almost double that price. This is one of the most expensive shoes I've ever bought in my life. And a huge problem that many of the people who purchase this shoe experience is that this 4-foot bag will shift inside the shoe or just flat out explode. My personal pair exploded after only a few months, and I was really disappointed, especially with the amount that I paid for this shoe. And the problem was frequent enough that I'm really surprised that this shoe never got a recall, because it happened to, you'd have to think at least 40% of the people who bought the shoe. It was insane how often this was happening. Then again, this is the best basketball shoe I've ever used in my life by far. It's not even close. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's an incredible performance shoe, and if I had the opportunity to purchase another pair, I would probably purchase another pair. And that's the thing, is the shoe is essentially perfect, and it's kind of the idea that beautiful things can only last for so long, and that's why the airbags had to explode in these things all the time. But this thing is incredible. If you're looking for the absolute best in performance footwear, then this shoe is for you. It has the best cushioning ever, amazing court feel, incredible impact protection, outstanding response and feel for the cushioning, great fit, great comfort. It's supportive, it's lightweight, it's good for any position. It's just the best basketball shoe ever. And then on the other side of the coin, it's very expensive. So if you don't have the coin, or you really just hate really awesome performing basketball shoes, then this probably isn't for you. So if you enjoyed this review and you enjoyed our new retro performance review segment, please comment and like below and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Weed City Soul. Until next time, guys, they're just shoes. Well, this isn't just a shoe. This is the best basketball shoe of all time. It's amazing. I can't get that across enough. Peace.